Welcome back to the channel, everyone. We're still here in Texas. Tomorrow we're actually going to Reefapalooza to set up. However, Danny invited us over to check out his tank. We're super excited. It's a 120-gallon tank, Red Sea. It's a mixed LPS tank, so we're gonna go inside and check it out. Let's go. Thank you for having me over, man.
Thanks for coming, Vic.
So, what a surprise, man. First question I want to do. How long has this tank been set up?
It got wet in November of 2022.
2022?
Yep.
And it started dry?
No, I used that Florida Live Rock.
Florida Live Rock.
Yeah. This one started dry, another tank that I did, and I said never again, man.
It looks pretty grown for being, what, 2.5, 3 years old, I think?
Yeah, not that old, yeah.
Impressive. I mean, the colors that you get out of this thing, they're so rich. So I'm gonna bombard you with a bunch of questions.
Sure.
Let's start from the top. So I was just asking you, there's a little clicking noise here, and you said you built this.
No, I didn't build it. It came with the tank. This is the
old. Oh, this came with the tank.
This is the old Gen 1 Red Sea, and it had.
That's what I'm recognizing. These things, they don't make these anymore.
No, they don't. It's very old. It's very old.
So what you do here inside this? This was a light or was just?
No, this is the light rack that came with it. It originally came with the Hydra 26s, the old AIs.
Oh, that's when they used to work with the Ecotech Marine before they created their own lights.
That's right. And so they fit perfectly in the tray. Well, these got old and they don't have the spectrum I like, so I got the Gen 6 XR15 Pros.
So you got 3 XR15 Gen 6 Pros.
And 4 Hydra 26s, yeah.
Great. And then here you got a reef brace strip?
Yep. And that's just for actinic pop. Yeah,
actinic pop. Just one, nothing in the back.
Just one in the front, and it's the old Lumilight Pro. So I only run the blues onto the actinic. I don't run the whites on it.
And who made this custom lids here?
That's Kraken Reef.
I got one like them and I love it, especially this little feeding thing here.
Exactly.
I love it. It's the best.
Yeah,
you can get different color lids too from him.
Yeah.
Neon green, neon orange,
yeah,
white.
he's got great service too, man. He's really responsive.
Yeah, great company. Let's talk about your flow a little bit.
Sure.
On a tank like this, what do you have? Just one MP60?
That's a 1 MP40 in the back left corner, and this one has integrated flow pumps in the back that the Red Sea that come forward and break to the front. That's my favorite flow style, back to front on the 2-foot.
So it's all in one tank, or there's a sump in the bottom?
There's no sump. This one is plumbed to another sump that's not underneath it. I'll show you that in a second.
Okay, but it's meant to be run that way, or was supposed to be?
Yeah, it's meant to have a sump below and run below, but I plumbed it out to an.
So it's not all in one with the filter in the back.
No, it's not, and it has an overflow drain. But those 3 are in the overflow box with a continuous drain across the back, and they just flow and they circulate. And there's little inlets behind the rock. And I had to add this MP40 because the torches weren't moving as much as I wanted. Yeah. To create cross flow.
But it seems like it's plenty with that.
Oh, plenty. That MP40 runs at 20%.
So how many hours do you keep your lights on this thing?
They come on at 8:30 and they go off at 10:30, so 14 hours.
So 14 hours. And how do they ramp up? Do they start blue only and then a little bit of white?
This tank runs all blue all the time. I don't run any whites.
All blue all the time.
Because this is all LPS, all softies. There's no.
And they seem to be loving it.
They do.
You're doing something right, because they seem to be super happy.
All blues. I do a fast ramp. It goes up in 15 minutes and they only run at 40% on the Radions. And 45% on the AIs.
Your cores look pretty rich on color, especially these few Montiporas. What do you call this Montipora again?
I think that's the Jason Fox Vino, and I think that's the, man, I can't remember the names as good as I could be. But
I'm trying to, I want to shoot. I mean, it's just too many names.
I got a list of it. I can look it up if you want.
But they look so rich. Then you got the Raja Rampage.
One of them's called Crazy Tea. Yeah, that's the Raja Rampage, the OG.
So I love that. The Crazy Tea.
I think it is.
That is the Crazy Tea.
And this was the Vino.
That's the Vino and that's the Crazy Tea.
The purple polyps is the Crazy Tea. The green polyps is the Vino.
Because the Crazy Tea is way nicer.
Yeah, you're right.
But anyhow, I love that Holy Grail Macro Musa right there.
Oh, yeah. Actually, that came from our local guy down here, Robert's Reef. He used to be at a fish store called F2M, Fish Tomorrow. Yeah. And he brought it in from a local wholesaler. And it's been famous in the hobby ever since. It's one of my favorites.
Is that
That's the Jay's Atomic Balls Ghani.
That looks hot, man. And then this Montipora is called the Cherry Tree, if I'm correct?
Yep, that's right.
That thing just grows and grows and grows. What are you going to do with it?
As soon as you leave, I'm going to start snapping it off.
You have to, because it's eating your Pavona right there.
Yeah, sure is.
It's eating your torch here. Yeah. Like literally just swarming it, growing all the way around. And they start friendly. They don't kill it right away.
The only reason I didn't already do that is because you were coming. I didn't want it to look all chopped up.
Got you. And then the candy cane is still one of my favorite corals. I keep saying it on every video.
Man.
Dude, the color that you're popping out of these, it's incredible. Not just that, but you got right here your flaming Bugatti.
Yep.
My original jelly bean back there. I couldn't believe how hot that thing looks.
Oh, gee, man, I love that thing.
I mean, you're doing something right. I mean, you got this Goni Island here.
Yep.
I mean, something that you're doing right. Thing I gotta ask you, what do you think these corals get attributed to? Why do you think they're so rich on this tank?
Man, I use the Reef Moonshiner method.
You are?
Yeah.
So you're sending your ICP once a week?
Yeah. No, every 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
2 to 3 weeks.
So the way I do it is I finish my correction doses, and then as soon as they're done, I immediately take another test.
How long you been doing that for?
Since late 2023.
And you notice a lot of difference on coloration?
Yeah, the biggest difference I notice is I no longer have mysterious losses. Like I used to, something would just ghost off on me, you know.
There's something that blew out in the water.
Not anymore. Yeah, now I don't have mysterious losses anymore. The other thing I noticed is if you look underneath the flesh bands of the torches, they got real puffy and real long, and
they're happy.
They got a lot.
That's the right thing they're
healthier.
supposed to do.
Yeah, and you know, same thing. I used to have Ghanies hit and miss make it. You know, like these 2 Ghanies here, they were struggling before I got them, and now they're improving, and you can see they've got good polyp extension. So the Moonshine Method is real effective. You know.
So let me ask you then.
Sure.
Since you're doing the moonshine, are you not doing water change?
No, not anymore.
At all?
So I used to have, I have an automatic 5-gallon every day, because my total system volume that this is plumbed into is 340 gallons.
Okay.
I was doing 1.5% water exchange every night between midnight and 6 a.m.
You still doing it?
I stopped doing it because I kept having to make correction doses every time I send an ICP, because the fresh water coming in.
Yeah, then it will delete your...
And I'm trying to hold certain levels, so it got to be a hassle. So I quit doing it so I could create some more stability.
So how long has it been since you haven't done a water change?
About 4 months now.
4 months.
Yeah.
Cool. Your nitrates and phosphates, what are they staying at?
I try to keep the nitrates between 15 and 20, like you guys recommend.
Yeah.
And of course, I see better colors on my SPS, on my other system that way.
And your phosphates?
My phosphates, I'd keep them at 0.1 or lower. And
0.1 or lower.
most of the time,
That's ideal.
most of the time they're running between 0.06, 0.08.
Okay.
And the only time they're a little bit higher is when I run out of food and I frozen, and I got to throw in the flakes and stuff.
And the other 3 important numbers, calcium, alkalinity, magnesium, where you keep those at?
Normal stuff, 8 to 8.5 on the alkalinity. The calcium is 420 to 440. Magnesium is 1300 to 1350.
And how do you dose those?
I do the normal 3-part, but I also do calcwasser. So I do bicarbonate for the alkalinity. I do calcium chloride from BRS for the calcium, and magnesium sulfate.
And how do you dose those?
I use a Neptune dose from.
So you got a Neptune controller?
Yep, I use the Trident control dosing for that.
Okay, it's in the night, and the Trident is making its own adjustments?
Yes.
Or you use it just for reading?
No, I let it make its own adjustments. So let it go, man.
Interesting. I love to hear that from more people, because more people are just using it for readings. They're afraid.
But I also watch it close too. I don't just like let it go, you know, so I keep a close eye. And if, like, for example, like my pH is down because I didn't change the CO2 media, I'll see that the alkalinity is climbing a little bit. I'll go in and make an adjustment. I don't totally let it go autopilot.
All right, let me talk to you about feeding. What do you feed the tank?
Sure, I don't feed anything to the corals, nothing.
Okay.
They get
What
light.
do you feed the tank?
And I feed the fish in the tank frozen mysis.
Frozen mysis.
And I feed nori every day.
That's it.
That's it.
Can we dig some into your equipment a little bit?
Sure. I'm not great at wiring, forgive me. But this used to be the sump. I used to have them run as 2 separate systems.
Okay.
I quit running them as 2 systems because it was so much work and hassle, and I never had time to enjoy the tanks. Once I plumbed them together into one sump, then I could actually enjoy the corals and really make them nice. But this basically is just here for what used to be. And I ran everything across, and it drains into the sump of the other system.
All right, so this is your filtration system for both tanks.
Yep, all 3, yep.
All 3, with the frac tank right here.
That's right.
So let's go right into it. So you got a protein skimmer from Reef Octopus. What model is that?
Yeah, that's the Regal 200 EXT. I plumbed it off the manifold, so I don't ever have the level changing when the water level changes in the sump.
That's great. Let me tell you something, man. Those protein skimmers 20 years ago, 15 years ago, people used to look at them like they were too cheap, don't use that.
My favorite.
I fell in love with them literally in 2007, 2008. There was a protein skimmer they used to produce. It was called the Cat 2 Hurricane. Dude, it's still the best skimmer ever today. That thing will just work and work and work. So here you got the chamber. This is where you say you're using the dose.
Yeah, and the doses are on the other side of the wall. They're in the garage because I didn't want to hear them. It's before the quiet drives came out.
Yeah.
And so they run through the wall, and then they drop into these dosing lines here as it comes into the overflow. And then, of course, these are for carbon and GFO. I don't run them anymore. Back in the day, I did.
You're not even running these.
No. Those are if something goes terribly wrong.
Where you have.
I need to run. It's ready to go.
I see you got a Tonsi osmolator ATO for the auto tub of water.
Yep, and the ATO containers on that end.
And that's for the cold water at night that you were saying?
The cold water's in the room back here.
But that gets dosed at night.
All day, 24/7. Anytime the pH is at 8.4 or lower, it's dosing. If it goes above 8.4, it kicks off.
So this is just, the ATO is just fresh water?
This is for the difference, yes. And there's an ATO reservoir on this side that's automatically filled from the RODI system using the Apex.
And I see over there on this other side right here, we have...
Those are Clarity SK5000s.
Okay, and what do we got here?
That's a Reef Factory a smart tester to test phosphates.
And you got literally Abyss return pumps.
I got 2 Abyss return pumps.
But overkill, no?
A little bit.
It's a little, right?
Yeah. Well, I got burned. I had a return pump rust out and nuke this tank over here, and I had to start it over. And man, that broke my heart because that was a lot of money in coral. So after that, I went to the best.
So Danny, are you gonna come this weekend to Reefapalooza?
Absolutely, I wouldn't miss it.
Yeah, for sure. I think I've seen you there last year, man.
Of course.
I think you look a little. I'm serious. I'm keep trying to say, where have I seen you? It has to be there. I don't know where else I could have seen you. Anyways, we're gonna be at Reefapalooza this weekend. So by the time you've seen this video, it's too late if you didn't make it to Reefapalooza, Texas. However, April 26 and 27, we're gonna be in Reefapalooza in Orlando. End of June, we're gonna be in New York. And end of August, we're gonna be in California. So if you happen to be in Orlando, New York, or California area, you know the days, come see us there. Danny, tank looks phenomenal. Thank you for inviting us over.
Thanks for coming.
You got one of the best colors I've seen in a long time. Keep on doing what you're doing. Don't stop it. Maybe next year you got something different going on. I'd love to come by again.
Sure.
Again, if you guys are watching at home, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, help us a lot. Post some comments below. If you can, jump into the video, answer some questions. I'm sure people are gonna have tons of questions regarding this video. We'll see you guys on the next episode.